Hello, good morning all. I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Sagar, Wasik, Omkar. Can you all see the newspaper on your screen? Is it visible? Fine. Sagar, आवाज ऐकू येतोय माझा?
हो सर, येतोय सर.
Fine. चले, so let's start with the today's newspaper analysis. Rupee breaches 81 policy. It is a policy challenge. So let it find its value or burn foreign exchange and hike rates. That's what is explained here. So in basics of Indian economic class, we are discussing the functions of Reserve Bank of India now. One of the very, very important functions of the Reserve Bank of India is foreign exchange management. That is जो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज होता है उसको मैनेजमेंट करना भी आरबीआई का एक काम होता है. So once we are done with the government budget topic, we will discuss this topic, that how the rupee appreciates, how the rupee depreciates, and what is the impact of the appreciation of the rupee, what is the impact of the depreciation of rupee, and then we'll also see that how Reserve Bank of India intervenes to control the falling rupee in the economy. So foreign exchange reserve is declined by $90 billion in 8 months till September 16. As we all also know that the foreign exchange reserve in India is one of the highest in the world. But now in the last 6 months or last 8 months, $90 billion foreign exchange reserve has been exhausted. So that is mentioned here. Sensex has plunged by 1,020 points as federal rate hike triggers global sell-off. RBI steps in. तो फेडरल रिजर्व जो रिजर्व बैंक अमेरिका की जो बैंक है उसको क्या किया है उसने, अमेरिकन बैंक हैज इंक्रीज्ड द रेट्स ऑफ interest rates of American banks. So of course we have already discussed it that whenever the Federal Reserve increase the rate, then all the people in the world, they do invest in America. They pull off their investment from other countries. So इंडिया में जिन भी लोगों ने इंडिया में इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था उन्होंने अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट पुल ऑफ किया है, and now they are investing in America. So that is why the Sensex, which is the sensitive index of the share market in India, that has plunged by 1,000 points, and this is a result of federal rate hike triggers, and so RBI has stepped in. So of course in this situation there is a bumpy road in front of India. That is what is explained here, that growth imperatives and need to create jobs weigh heavy on the government's mind, with elections in over a dozen states in the next 12 to 18 months. तो आने वाले 12 to 18 months में election होने वाले हैं, and of course before election government needs to show that there is increase in the employment बढ़ाने के लिए growth की जरूरत है. तो growth के लिए किसकी जरूरत है? For growth you need the investment. So that is what the problem here. Instead of sharp rate hike to contain inflation, policy makers would rather let the rupee depreciate. तो रुपये को depreciate करना उन्हें पसंद होगा rather than increasing the sharp instead of sharp rate hikes to contain the inflation, policy makers would rather let the rupees to appreciate. That is what is mentioned here. Now just read this whole article to understand what is the impact of rupee depreciation on overall inflation, economic growth. इन सारी चीजों पे इसका क्या असर होगा या देख लीजिए. Right hand side, India China border standoff of bilateral matter. We will stay away. That's what the Russia's envoy had said. So Russian envoy said that कि इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में जो भी बॉर्डर स्टैंड ऑफ है, जो भी बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट है, वो एक बायलैटरल मैटर है, तो रशिया उसमें इंटरवीन नहीं करेगा. That's what the Russian envoy had said. So external affair Minister S. Jaishankar, the counterpart of BRICS, on the sidelines of UNGA summit. तो यूनाइटेड नेशन जनरल असेंबली का एक समिट होने वाला है, तो उससे पहले ब्रिक्स ग्रुप ऑफ कंट्रीज दे हैव कम टुगेदर and they're discussing the issues which needs to be discussed in United Nations General Assembly meeting. Okay, here there is one more statement given by our Prime Minister that urban Naxals and some global bodies are blocking infrastructure in India. So as per Narendra Modi, some urban Naxal people in the urban areas, of course, these are the activists, environmental activists and social activists, etc. So normally India में कोई अगर infrastructure होता है, कोई industry आती है या कोई कोई प्रोजेक्ट आता है, गवर्नमेंट प्रोजेक्ट, तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में कुछ लोग होते हैं जो सोशल एक्टिविस्ट होते हैं या एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट होते हैं, they do raise some questions related to environment and social impact, environmental impact, social impact, etc. So that is what is mentioned here, that the urban Naxals and some global bodies like Greenpeace, etc., they are blocking infrastructure. That's what Narendra Modi says. So that is what is mentioned here. Pushing for speedy environmental clearances for infrastructure and development projects. Prime Minister Narendra Modi Friday blamed urban Naxals and some global institutions and foundations for stopping the modern infrastructure projects that can raise the standard of living of the people in the country. He also cautioned against getting caught in the conspiracies of such people who he said have been able to influence even the World Bank and higher education. So उनके हिसाब से these people are also influencing the World Bank, because normally World Bank's funds to the various development projects. Then of course this project के लिए जो World Bank का जो लोन होता है, वो लोन अगर एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस के बगैर हम लेंगे तो वर्ल्ड बैंक वो लोन नहीं देगा, और इंडिया की जो हायर जुडिशरी जैसे कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट एक्सेट्रा, उन लोगों को भी इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं. That's what the Prime Minister said. So the Prime Minister was addressing by a video link on a conference hosted by Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav for state environment ministers and officials on environment, forest and climate change. That's what he said. So just read this whole article and put it into GS paper 2 topic, role of NGOs in development and development processes. Now let's move to the next page. The Bombay High Court has allowed Uddhav-led Sena to hold a Dussehra rally at Shivaji Park. You can read it out. That is not important for us. You can skip it out. Okay, the Supreme Court of India is going to hear the Article 370 abrogation plea after Dussehra break. So Article 370 को जो abrogate किया गया था, उसके खिलाफ में बहुत सारे petitions फाइल किए गए थे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में. The Supreme Court will be hearing this, Supreme Court will be hearing this case after the Dussehra's, the break. That is what is mentioned here. Okay, so BRIC foreign ministers की मीटिंग हुई है and support all efforts for peace in Ukraine. तो यूक्रेन में जो पीस के लिए जो कोशिश की जा रही है उसके लिए सपोर्ट करना चाहिए. That's what the BRICS ministry have said. So as we all know that because of this Russia-Ukraine war, there is inflation, there is the global supply chain has disturbed because of this Russia-Ukraine war. So that is why the BRICS group of countries. Now, what is BRICS group of countries? That I'll explain you in the basics of Indian economic class. BRICS हम देखेंगे. BRICS is a group of countries consisting Brazil, Russia, India, and China and South Africa. So all these 5 countries have come together for economic cooperation with each other. I will be explaining in detail about the BRICS, but here you can see that all these BRIC countries foreign ministers have said that there is a need to support the efforts for basic Ukraine war. Clear? So burning fuel to carry fuel, that is the government's ethanol program to face transport challenges. So government wants that more and more ethanol should be used in the as a fuel, but there are certain challenges, there are certain issues associated with the ethanol. So what are those issues associated with the use of ethanol instead of petrol and diesel? That is what is explained here. So ethanol production has received a boost thanks to the government's attractive pricing policy, but logistics of movement and distribution of the large quantities present a challenge, not only in terms of cost, but also emission. It could result essentially in burning fuel to carry fuel. मतलब इस फ्यूल को ट्रांसफर करने के लिए ट्रांसपोर्ट में डीजल और पेट्रोल का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा. तो इथेनॉल क्लीन एनर्जी के लिए हम इस्तेमाल करने वाले हैं. किस क्लीन एनर्जी को ट्रांसफर करने के लिए हमें पेट्रोल और डीजल का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा. So that is what is the meaning of the last term. That is what is mentioned here, that it could result essentially in burning fuel to carry fuel. मतलब जितना हम लेके जाएंगे ट्रांसपोर्ट करेंगे उतना ही उसका खर्च भी हो जाएगा. मतलब ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में उतना ही उसका पेट्रोल और डीजल या खर्च हो जाएगा. That is what is mentioned here. Now let's move on to the next page. Today's editorial page is related to PFI. As we have seen that yesterday that there was some raid on one organization called Popular Front of India. As per the government, Popular Front of India is it is a radical organization which is leading to terrorist activities in India. So the Islamist output is a security threat and a political problem. Any strategy to check its influence needs to factor in both. So GS paper 3, there is one topic called internal security challenge. India में internal security challenge क्या है? That is one topic in GS paper 3. So one of the important internal security challenge in India is the Popular Front of India as per editorial. So this Islamic outfit is a security threat and a political problem, and there is a need to have a strategy to check its influence needs to factor in both. So just read this whole article to understand that what is PFI and why there were searches and why there were raid on the PFI for the last 2 days in India. So यहाँ पर GS पेपर पैराग्राफ 2 में यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन किया है कि how the PFI has been emerged as a radical strand and what needs to be done with that. That is what is explained here. Anyone knows which agency has raided on the Popular Front of India's various the locations? Which investigative agency?
National Investigation Agency.
Very good. So NIA, which deals with the issues related to related to the internal security threat and the terrorist activities. Clear? So there is a meltdown in Nepal. Standoff involving president's office and executive and judiciary triggers a constitutional crisis in Kathmandu. So Kathmandu में नेपाल में constitutional crisis create हुआ है. That there is a standoff happening between president, executive, and judiciary. So just read this article as a UPSC aspirant. You need to know what is happening in our neighboring country. So that is what is you can come to know by reading this article. Okay, PM Shri schools will depend on quality of education. So what is this PM Shri schools? Anyone remember? Our Prime Minister has declared this scheme a few weeks back.
Sir, to
What is this
increase
PM Shri scheme? Yes, Mr.
the educational infrastructure in the school, sir, and as well a teacher's teaching method, sir.
Right. So how many schools will be created as a PM Shri project? Yes, Mustafa.
Sir,
How many
exactly
schools
figuring,
are going to be created as a part of this scheme?
sir, public government school, sir.
How many schools? I am asking the number of schools.
I don't remember, sir.
ठीक है, चलिए कोई problem नहीं. But anyways, this scheme is for teachers. So that's what Amita Mullah Bachchala said. The Union Cabinet Minister's approval of the PM Shri school schemes comes at a time when the schooling system is in disarray. तो इंडिया का जो schooling system है वो problem में है और ऐसे situation में प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने announcement किया है. Teachers seems to be caught in a time war after the pandemic, and the anxieties of the children are increasing because of the switch to online classes during the public health emergency and then the pivot back to regular schooling. So confused school managements and parents are finding it difficult to address the learning gap. So that is what is explained. ये जो learning gap हुआ था पिछले इसमें वो उसको एड्रेस करने के लिए पीएम श्री स्कीम will help. That's what is mentioned here. अब यहाँ पे PM श्री के बजाय PM ट्री होना चाहिए. That is what is explained in the last paragraph. That perhaps the government next initiative should be PM tree scheme. That is Teacher for Rising India. That's what she's saying here. So please read this whole article to understand that what are the challenges in front of the Indian school education system. इंडिया में स्कूल एजुकेशन सिस्टम में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, क्या इश्यूज हैं, इसको समझने के लिए आपको ये आर्टिकल पढ़ना जरूरी है. जीएस पेपर 2 देयर इज अ टॉपिक कॉल्ड सोशल सेक्टर लाइक एजुकेशन, हेल्थ एटसेट्रा. तो उस एजुकेशन वाले टॉपिक में ये आर्टिकल आपके लिए यूजफुल होगा. नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल इज अबाउट द रिन्यूइंग आवर सिटीज. In GS paper 1 there is one topic called urbanization and their remedies. Urbanization मतलब क्या? शहरीकरण और उसके क्या issues हैं? What are the issues associated with the urbanization? That is what is mentioned here. So renewing our cities. Indian urban centers needs to plan migration, climate change, healthcare, affordable housing, sustainability, including hold key in reimagining them. So all these, what are the challenges in front of the urbanization in India? India की क्या-क्या problems urbanization में? Urbanization मतलब शहरीकरण. Urban areas में क्या-क्या issues है? GS paper 1 में topic है. Every year there is one question asked on this urbanization and their remedies. That is what is mentioned here, that कि Indian urban center needs to plan migration. जो rural area से urban area में जो लोग migrate करते हैं उसे प्लान करने की जरूरत है. There is also need to plan the climate change and healthcare and affordable housing and sustainability and inclusive growth hold the key remaining to them. That is what is explained here. So just read this whole article to understand, which is written by Feroz Varun Gandhi. You will get so many points in GS paper 1 topic, that is urbanization and the remedies. You can write the answer, the mains exam based on this article. It's a fine example that how you should write an essay. So read this whole article, take some points and put it into GS paper 2, problems of urbanization. Undoing colonial legacy. As I told you that India follows many colonial legacies. So राजपथ का नाम कर्तव्य पथ किया गया है. उसके अलावा सुभाष चंद्र बोस का स्टैच्यू वहां पर पुट अप किया गया. दैट इज व्हाट इज मेंशन्ड हियर. Renaming Rajpath as a Kartavya Path, installing Netaji's statue does justice to the many strands of the national movement and not just one dominant. तो national movement में जो अलग-अलग जो strand थे उसको justice देने की कोशिश की गई है. That's what Ram Madhav is saying. So in GS paper 1 there is one topic called various contributions and contributors in the Indian national movement and India's freedom movement. इंडिया के फ्रीडम मूवमेंट में बहुत सारे अलग अलग लोगों ने अपना एक योगदान दिया हुआ है. तो उसमें सिर्फ ऐसे नहीं है कि सिर्फ महात्मा गांधी ने योगदान दिया हुआ है, बहुत सारे लोगों ने उसमें योगदान दिया हुआ है. दैट्स व्हाट राम माधव फील्स, एंड दैट इज व्हाई as per the Ram Madhav putting up statues of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and renaming Rajpath as a Kartavya Path is an attempt to give justice to all those people who were involved in Indian national movement. Now let's move to the next page. IS linked suspects wanted to establish caliphate in India. That's what the police had said. So just this article. This will be again important for you in GS paper 3 topic internal security challenge. Because of heavy rain, there is doom for basmati belt. इंडिया में जो बासमती राइस का जो प्रोडक्शन होता है उस पे उसका इम्पैक्ट हुआ है because of the heavy rains. That is what is explained here. Which state produced the basmati rice in India? Any idea about it? कौन से स्टेट में ज्यादा बासमती राइस का प्रोडक्शन होता है इंडिया में?
पंजाब और हरियाणा.
पंजाब और हरियाणा. चलिए, so let's move to the today's economy page. Foreign exchange reserve continues to fall amid the rupee slide, and it is down by $5.2 billion. So what is foreign exchange? What is appreciation? What is depreciation? Why the foreign exchange reserve, अगर कम होता है तो उसका ओवरऑल इकोनॉमी पे क्या इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है? That I will discuss with you in the basics of an economic class. The companies must understand the structural shift in the technological workforce. That's what MOS IT, that is Minister of State for Information Technology, had said. In this year's mains exam, there was one question asked that discuss the impact of work from home on family relationship. तो family relationship पे work from home का क्या impact हुआ है? The question has been asked. So there is change in the structural change in the workforce in India. The companies in India must understand that structural shift in the technological workforce. That's what Minister of State IT, that is Rajiv Chandrasekhar, has said. As per economist, RBI is going to increase the hike by 50 basis point. जो भी रेपो रेट है वो 50 basis point से रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हाइक करेगा ऐसे एक्सपेक्टेशन है. तो we have already discussed about the monetary policy. What impact of the increase in the interest rate on the overall economy and inflation, that we have already discussed here. So the economist of India believe that there will be again one more interest rate hike by the RBI or repo rate hike by the RBI. ठीक है. सो अमेरिका में रिसेशन होगा इसके फियर से 2% interest, 2% the shares have been sold out in the America's financial market. So this is all there in the today's newspaper. Any doubts for the today's newspaper? Today you will go and check it out. Today you will get the notes from this editorial. जो वरुण गांधी का जो editorial आया हुआ है वो आपको करना है. ठीक है? This is a very very important article. That what are the issues associated with urban areas and what needs to be done to address this issue. That is the important article. तो इसके notes आपको बनाना है. Fine? Yes, Mustafa.
सर जो राम माधव का जो आर्टिकल आया है अनडूइंग कॉलोनियल लीगेसी, इसके ऊपर सर जो पेपर उनका टॉपिक है उसके ऊपर जनरली क्वेश्चन कैसे फ्रेम हो सकता है सर? कंट्रीब्यूटर्स एंड देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन.
तो क्वेश्चन आता है जीएस पेपर वन में क्वेश्चन आता है कि अलग अलग लोगों का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है और अलग अलग लोगों का जो who are the contributors, लाइक नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस का क्या रोल था इंडिया के नेशनल मूवमेंट पे, ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं। या फिर क्वेश्चन ऐसे पूछे जा सकते हैं कि देयर वर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ ओपिनियन बिटवीन महात्मा गांधी एंड सुभाष चंद्र बोस बट स्टिल दे हैव अ कॉमन गोल। तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं। डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर पे ऑलरेडी एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है। You go through the previous question paper, you will get an idea that how the question can be framed on such type of topics. Alright, Mustafa?
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Chale. So we'll stop it here now. Have a good day to all of you. See you in the evening. Today, even though today is Saturday, so I will be taking the basics of Indian economic class, and I will also try to take the basics of Indian economic class tomorrow as well. So see you today in the evening at 8:30 for the basics of Indian economic class.